The Sixers are going to destroy the Magic. Orlando, get out of here.
Yeah,
That city's good for Disney. That's
yeah.
it.
Universal Studios.
Silly Pride insists that's all. Andrew Rappin and Wild Bulls. Together they talk sports and dreams. Right behind the scenes. It seems. Silvers and white. Hear the call. Who's the greatest? Who will fall with this rivalry? Loud and clear. Join the chat. It's time to hear. Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew Sistat, glad unite. Philly and Y in the spotlight.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 103. We are talking Philadelphia 76ers as they are in the play-in tournament. And on Wednesday, they play the Magic in the 7-8 matchup with a chance at the number 7 seed and the wonderful right to play the Boston Celtics in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about the matchup with the Magic, since that's the immediate game. We're also going to talk about all the scenarios, or the possible scenarios for the Sixers within the play-in tournament. If they win, they get the 7th seed. We're going to break down that game against the Magic. We'll talk about if they lose, what happens then. We're going to talk about the potential matchups and get into that a little bit as well. And then we're going to talk about, obviously, what happens if they lose to the Magic and then they lose the next game and eliminated. And we'll get into all that. We'll kind of go down each path and figure out what we think is going to happen, what's most likely. If you're a Sixers fan and for some reason you don't know how the play-in tournament works, well, now you will know. And if you're just an NBA fan in general, you forgot, and we got you covered here because the Sixers are in a situation being in the play-in tournament where a week from now they could be playing the Celtics. A week from now they could be playing the Pistons. A week from now they could be eliminated. So we'll get into it all.
Yep. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Right off the bat, though, we haven't had the luxury of talking about the latest Joel Embiid news on this podcast. Were you when the news came out? What was your initial reaction? What was your emotional reaction? What was your thought process?
My emotional reaction was, obviously I was pretty bummed. I was more so bummed for Embiid himself. Just because, it's got to be very emotionally taxing on somebody who, has all of the pressure and the weight of the world on his shoulders. And he just can't catch a break. And
No.
for whatever reason, year after year, and half of the time, so he's got bad knees, obviously, but he's not Greg Oden, right? Like his knees are relatively functional.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these injuries are just wacky, freak, non-basketball things that have happened to this guy.
Yeah.
And so he's missed a good, the last month and a half, he's barely played in any games, and he had an oblique injury that sidelined him for a long time, and then he came back for 2 or 3 games after the oblique injury, and he was dealing with an illness. Then he came back for a game, and then it turned out that he had appendicitis and he has to have emergency surgery, and they have it removed. But unless by some miracle they are able to beat the Boston Celtics, which they're obviously not going to, his season's done. And it just sucks for him because I feel like this year in particular, he really seemingly tried to be healthy. He tried to take all the necessary steps. He didn't rush himself back from injuries. He wasn't doing any back-to-backs, and it really looked like he was taking care of his body for the first time. He was taking it seriously in his career, and just for this to happen is really a bummer for him. As far as my emotion towards it, that's really what I felt. I don't. I'm honestly kind of numb to this at this point. Um,
I mean, it's always something.
it, it's
Yeah, it's always
it,
something.
it,
Even
it
like you're saying, it might not be the knee, it might not be the back. It's something, some like facial injury, some random thing that you're like, is it like that? I don't even know anyone that ever had that. Like appendicitis is like for common in between, like before you're like 20 years old or something.
right.
Like it's very strange how he did, and also the time. You could have that at any point in the year, and he has it right when the playoffs are about to start.
Exactly.
It's
It's
crazy.
just like it's insane. So that part I was numb to, but I've really kind of succumbed over the past couple weeks. So, a few weeks ago I came on and shame on me. I was saying that I was excited for the
They're
76ers
you
and
said they're all healthy for the first time, and you were excited about it.
yeah, and they were good for a
Yeah.
little stretch there, like a week and a half. And I don't know, the past like 2 or 3 weeks, they've just kind of it just feels like kind of just feels like this is their ceiling. It's almost like it's like the league has like passed them by over the past 2 or 3 years, and I just don't really see a scenario where it ends better than it does this year. With if they win 45 games or so, they've won exactly 45 games this year. They're a top 6, 7, 8 seed. They're I honestly think the only better scenario for them, just given the state of the league and the Eastern Conference specifically, like maybe they could have been the 6 seed and lost in the first round instead of the 7 seed and lost in the first round. But it just doesn't seem like this group can really go any further than this, and it's weird because like
This is more of what we're getting into right now is more of a end of the season recap.
yeah, yeah, I guess, but yeah, I mean, you just I was just gonna say
It
like
sounds like you're calling the season over already. It sounds like you're like that. Again, we're gonna go down scenarios, but it sounds like the question for you is when they'll lose or who they'll lose to, and like not like you don't.
of course.
But it's not like maybe they'll make it to the second round. Maybe they'll make some run. That's not
I
even.
mean, I think I truly don't know. I mean, look at what like okay, let's say they face the Celtics in round one. Like I don't know, like the Celtics backups can probably be. Look what they did to the Magic yesterday.
All right,
Like they're
all right.
just
I'm gonna stop you there. We're gonna get into that. So
all right.
you can cover the entire pod right now. You can touch on everything. So
I know.
let's get into it.
Reel me in.
I know what you're about to say is I want to have that conversation because where you were going, I mostly agree with you. So, all right. So no Embiid, obviously the impact is pretty significant, even though he's not the same player. He's not as physical. He's not extending himself as much defensively. He's not doing as much, and that's to protect his body, like you said. Even with that, you know what his on-off net rating was? You know what his net rating, what the Sixers net rating as a team with Embiid on the court was compared to him when he's off this year?
No.
Plus, this is now net ratings per 100 possessions, plus 9.3. The expected wins he added when on the court, plus 22. So, even though he's not prime peak Embiid, arguably the best player in the NBA, he's still an extremely good player, an extremely impactful player. And part of the reason why I wouldn't have picked the Sixers in the series with Embiid is because I would have expected him to get hurt at some point. Not because, like, if I had to guarantee Embiid's 100% healthy, I think the Sixers, I would say that they can make a run all the way to the finals. That was never something that I thought was realistic. But the point here is plus 9.3 net rating with Embiid on the court, expected wins plus 22. So the impact is undeniable. It's right there in the stats. Obviously, you watched it all season. It's a huge loss.
Yeah, and I think he to your point about him not being physically as gifted, like he wasn't 2022 Joel Embiid, but he absolutely had some spurts even recently throughout the course of this year. Remember that Charlotte Hornets game where he blocked, I forget who it was, but he came out.
Knaple?
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been Brandon Miller, but anyway, he attacked. He closed out on a 3-point shot and blocked it into the stands. It was like a really big possession in the game, and it was like just a really athletic play. And I think he saves himself um, to try to keep himself physically right, like you said. But
Yeah.
but he has it in
Yeah.
spurts, and typically he ramps it up for the playoffs. But everybody does. So um, yeah, I mean he affects the game in so many ways. His presence offensively, defensively, it just changes everything. Um,
Yeah.
and it just sucks. It's just a bummer. So yeah.
All right, let's get into the Sixers Magic 7-8 Magic matchup. 7 versus 8. Obviously, the winner gets the 7 seed. The loser then has a second chance to make the playoffs. Then they go play the winner, the 9-10
Yes.
matchup.
Yes.
Heat and Hornets. So
Yep.
in this Magic matchup, though, well, let me ask you something. I may have this mistaken, because what do you expect the Sixers rotation to be in this game? Maxey, Paul George, Edgecombe, Oubre, Edwards, Grimes, Drummond.
Drummond. Yeah. Yep.
Am I forgetting someone else?
I guess Bona will probably be
Bona,
the
okay.
backup. The backup five. But yeah, I mean that'll be the rotation. It actually might not even be that deep. You might just go like 7 guys. That wouldn't surprise me. Because they'll have a pretty big rest
Who
until
would be out? Edwards, Grimes.
Yeah. I don't think Edwards would get a lot of run. Barlow would probably get a few minutes in there, but no, I think Grimes is their other guard. They have no other guard really because Campaign just got hurt. So yeah, the guards are going to be Maxey, Edgecombe, and Grimes, and then yeah, it'll be Paul George and Oubre and Barlow and Drummond and Bona. That's who I think they're going to go with.
Okay. And Maxey's going to play like what, 40, 45 minutes,
46
something
minutes.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And Edgecombe will probably play big minutes. I'm assuming Paul George probably won't play like as crazy minutes, just because he's probably not going to be as effective once he gets into like the mid 40s. But they're definitely going to heavily rely on Maxey and Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that I'm excited to see. Like I'll talk myself into like anything. Like, hey, if they don't make the playoffs, then whatever. Like at least they'll get that. They have a chance at the lottery, a very 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 small chance at a top pick, but a chance nonetheless. But if they do make the playoffs, I'm actually I'm excited to watch VJ in the playoffs. So that I think that would be a lot of fun. I'd love to see him.
Good experience
Ramp
for
up
him
the
as well going
intensity.
forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if they do make it, that's one thing that I think would be fun to watch. That's what I'll be looking out for.
All right, let's talk. I don't know. I actually do want to get your take on the Magic, but actually, you know what? No, give me your take on the Magic before I even give you the stats. How do you view the Magic?
I view the Magic as kind of similar to the Sixers, I would say. Just like, I think they underachieved this year. Although I wasn't too high on them coming into the year because I thought they were fine last year. I mean, I know we've talked maybe offline about this, but I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast before. I think Bane sucks. I think he's fine.
I know you think that. Yeah, I know you think.
I mean, people like Knicks fans get mad because they traded all those picks for Bridges. Could you imagine if you traded the picks for Bane? Oh my God, are you kidding me, dude? Oh, but I mean, they're fine. I mean, I just from everything, I've really only watched them a couple times this year, like when they played the Sixers, but they kind of seem just like a weird team. Like they should be greater than the sum of their parts, and they're not. But I just don't feel confident really about like either team in this game. Like I think they're both very frustrating to watch. Um, and they probably should be a little bit better than they are. I mean, the Sixers have the Embiid excuse. I'm not really exactly sure what Orlando's excuse is. I mean, they
Want me to
lost
tell you?
to the Celtics like G League team yesterday, man, and they had a pretty large incentive to win that game, right? I mean,
For sure.
you would much rather be home for this 7-8 game than on the road in Philadelphia. So, and they couldn't
Yes.
beat. I mean, dude, did you seriously? Did you see the inactives for Boston yesterday?
Yeah. I mean, I'm aware. I mean, and I was shocked. I just assumed that the Magic were going to win. Like I assumed the Raptors were going to win, and yeah, it was crazy.
I
I was
mean,
expecting the
dude,
Knicks to play the Raptors because,
they sat
yeah,
their top 8 guys, man. I mean,
yeah. I
and
mean,
no
it's
Brown,
crazy.
Tatum, Pritchard, Hauser, Kada, Vucevic, Derek White. Like nobody played, and the Magic
Yep.
couldn't beat them. It's pretty wild.
It is wild, and I know the reaction's been pretty strong about that. I don't. I don't. I think it's just a weird game. Like I, I don't know. I don't think it's worth the overreaction. I think people are reacting very strongly within like the basketball media, independent media industry. Like I said, people are talking about like Mosley getting fired. I think like Bill Simmons was talking about it. I think people were talking about how I saw like a Sixers, like I think it was maybe a clip on WIP where like they were saying that like the Magic aren't like the Sixers are gonna win because like, the Magic couldn't even beat the Celtics like G League team. And it's like I mean I don't know like the Magic. I mean they did win what 45 games, right?
Yes, yes.
So and to answer your question, their two best players both missed a lot of time. So Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero both missed a lot of time. So that's part of what held them back and made them underachieve. If they have their two, I mean, think about this. If you have your two, if most teams are without their two top players at the same time and at different times for like more than half the season, it's going to impact how well you play. So I think that's one thing. They're all healthy now. They're all healthy now. The Magic play a really physical brand of basketball. They play really physical. Guys like Jalen Suggs, they get up on the guards. Like they're going to be really. Suggs will be really physical with Maxey. It's going to be a really tough game. And I don't know what happened. I didn't watch any of the Magic Celtics game, but that's a very. I just chalk that up as a really weird sports game. I think the Magic are really good. I've been pretty high in the Magic. I as a Knicks fan, I did not want the Magic in round one. I think it's a really tough matchup for the Sixers. But you're right. The Magic definitely should have wanted to be home. That game had importance to them. I don't know. I don't understand what happened.
Well, they don't shoot that well, right? They're not a very good shooting team.
They're not a very good shooting team. That's true. That is definitely true.
So what do they do well?
They play really physical defense, and they have two guys, Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero, who are really good playmakers. They're really hard, like big scorers, hard to stay in front of. They're just hard to guard. And the Magic main issue with most of the season offensively was that they didn't have their really two guys who can create on offense. Other than that, I mean, Bane was brought in. I know you're mocking Desmond Bane. He was brought in to be like a third type of offensive playmaker and 3-point shooter. But him as your lead guy, it doesn't work. Like they didn't trade for Bane thinking, oh, he's going to be our lead. We're going to run the offense through him. That's not the idea. So that has a huge impact on everyone else on the roster when your top two guys are missing a lot of games.
Of course.
I think Franz Wagner missed like 50 games or 40-something games. I have some stats for you to answer what they're good at.
Okay.
net ratings. This is overall. So offense and defense per 100 possessions. Both teams. The Magic, 17th in the NBA. The Sixers, 18th.
Nice.
Offensive net rating. The Sixers, 17th. The Magic, 19th. Defensive net rating. This is what the Magic are good at. 11th. Sixers, 16th. Both teams, like you were saying they're very similar. They both, underachieved. They both had injuries. They both really, that's it. They both have a lot of talent when fully healthy. The Magic are fully healthy. The Sixers obviously are not. Other than Embiid, they are, but it's a pretty big one.
Yep. Man, so he's picking Orlando. Wow.
You don't have any respect for Franz Wagner or Banchero?
I do. I don't have I don't have as much respect for them as I'm sure you do. But no, I think they're good. They're good players. But even still, again, I don't watch a ton of Magic basketball, but a lot of the stuff that you read, Banchero had a very disappointing year this year from what I hear. And it's,
He did.
maybe
He doesn't shoot
injuries
the
are
three
part
ball
of
at
it,
all.
but yeah.
No, Banchero, everyone's been waiting for him to take that next step. And
Yes.
since he really hasn't taken the next step.
Yes.
I actually would say
remember
Franz
watching
Wagner's
him,
their best player.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I remember watching him, his first year or two within his career, thinking, damn, this kid's pretty good. He's got a lot of potential, but yeah, that seems to be the general consensus, is that he hasn't taken that next leap. And, I don't know. He's probably still going to be the best player in this game.
I actually think Franz Wagner is actually their best player. And I don't know. Maxi's not the best player on either team.
I think Maxi's hurt right now. I think he's dealing with the finger issue on his shooting hand. He just hasn't been playing as well down the stretch here.
Oh, well, that's not good.
No. He has spurts, but he's maybe he's just tired. He's played a lot of minutes this year, and yeah, he hasn't been as good down the stretch.
The rest of the rotation for the Magic guys that you'll probably will laugh at until they're beating the Sixers.
Yep.
Desmond Bane, your favorite player in the NBA, after OG, of course. Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter Jr. is a space center. He shoots the three pretty well. He defends pretty well. Suggs is an awesome defender. Yeah, what did I say?
You
said a space
center. Like the International Space Station, the Space Center?
Yeah. He's a stretch five. And Anthony Black's a good defender. Here's the thing. Suggs, Black, Bane, these guys are all good defenders. They're all very physical defenders. So they're gonna put a lot of ball pressure on Maxey and Edgecombe and Grimes, and it's a tough matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Sixers have some personnel to be able to break that, right? I think that Maxey is obviously very crafty, and so is Paul George, and Quentin Grimes can make some plays. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know. The Sixers seem a little disinterested ever since the Embiid news broke. They look like they're bored. And I don't know. I just don't know which team is going to show up on Wednesday.
All right. Well, if they win, then they get the 7th seed. Let's talk about that. For a second, let's assume that they beat the Magic. They win a low-scoring game, 97-95.
Okay.
I don't think that's not my prediction. But
Okay.
let's say they win. They play the Celtics. They get the 7th seed. They play the Celtics, the 2 seed. You were going into it before. You're about to say what your thoughts in a potential first-round series against the Celtics, right? What were you going to say?
I think the only chance would be if every single person in their starting lineup got injured, and even then, I still don't know that that the Sixers would win. They just all seem so well coached, and they play so hard, and they just play a certain brand of basketball that just, it almost doesn't even matter who you throw in there. Like you saw what happened with their backups yesterday. They just, they're a well-oiled machine. But the one saving grace that we could possibly lean on is they might just get 3-point happy again, like they did last year against the Knicks. And if they do that, and the Sixers might be able to win a game, like if they just go cold from three, but it's not going to be any more than that. Best case scenario, they lose in 5 games.
Do you think that's best case scenario?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? It's the Celtics, dude. They never beat the Celtics. We've been having this conversation for 9 years now, and it's never going to change. And it never has changed. And the Celtics continue to get better, and the Sixers continue to be the Sixers. And that's, it's just never going to happen. It's all right.
By the way,
we've all accepted it at this point.
Well, I think you're right. But the answer, but there's one thing that I agree with, but the way you said it, I disagree with. You said if they get 3-point happy, they are 3-point happy. That's who they are.
I know.
They shoot the 4th most threes per game in the NBA. Like that they rely on the three ball.
That low? Wow.
You thought it was like first or something?
Yeah, I mean, what was it? What was it last year? I'd be curious to know, because I mean that is why they lost. That's why they lost to the Knicks last year.
Last year they were first. Okay, dude.
Yes.
Last year they shot 47 per game. Second most was Chicago at 42 per game.
Yeah.
So last year they shot a lot. They shot 47 per game. This year they shot 42, so a normal amount. In today's NBA,
that's why they lost to the Knicks last year. They were up 22 and just kept bombing 3 after 3 after 3. It's like, what are you doing? Like early in the shot clock too.
That's part of why they lost. The other part is the Knicks themselves. We don't need to get into the Knicks right now. But you can't put that all on the Celtics.
I mean, they're idiots. But anyway, they were last year. They're not anymore this year.
Well, not when they play the Sixers. They're too smart for the Sixers.
What else do you want me to say? I mean, the Celtics are amazing. The Sixers are the Sixers, and when
I want you to have. Can I choose what you say? Like you
sure, yeah.
I want you to have bravado. I want you to say the Sixers are going to destroy the Magic. Yeah. Orlando, get out of here. They're good for that city's good for Disney. Yeah. That's it. They're going to go to play the Celtics. Tatum's knee is hanging by a thread.
Achilles.
He's gonna go. I said knee. What is wrong with me? I can't even remember what's going on. No. Now it's his knee. The Achilles is healed. He's gonna go down.
Ben Stiller will be praying for him when he goes down.
Jaylen Brown's gonna be a complete disaster. Embiid's gonna come back in Game 7 and drop 50.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I want you to say. You asked me what I want you to say. Say that.
No.
Okay. You want to hear some net? I already gave you the Sixers net rating. So the Sixers are 18th offense. The Sixers are 17th defensive net rating. The Sixers, what is it? I can't even. 18th, 16th. So the Celtics overall 4th. Offensive net rating, 2nd. Defensive net rating, 4th.
Great.
Surprise, surprise, the Celtics are one of the elite teams in the NBA. Which was a surprise coming into the season. But it's not a surprise anymore.
Not to some of us.
Not to you.
You laughed at me when I said the Celtics would be good this year.
Well, you didn't even... Okay, we don't need to get into it, but you didn't even know that... You thought they still had KP. You didn't realize...
I did not. And by the way, I knew that Brown's amazing, and I knew that Tatum would be back, and they're fine.
You were right about both of those things. I agree. Okay, so your expectation is they're going to get if they get a win, if they win one game, that's a success at this point. Like you have no hopes.
Yes, and it'll either be game 1 or game 4.
Okay, if they won game 1, you would be excited. You'd be hopeful.
No, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, just dude, you know me when I get in these I'm just like, I don't want to watch anymore. Like I don't want to watch the Celtics kick the shit out of the Sixers for 5. Like,
okay, I have a question for you, but I want to save it now.
It's prolonging the inevitable.
Let's go through another path here.
Okay.
The Sixers lose to the Magic in a 7-8 game. The Sixers now play the winner of the 9-10 matchup to earn the 8th seed, a win against either the Heat or the Hornets. Whoever wins that game, probably the Hornets. And then you get the 8th seed and you get the right to play the Detroit Pistons. First, let's talk about the Heat or the Hornets. I'm assuming you'd expect the Hornets to win also, because they're the second half of the season, the Hornets are like one of the best teams in the league, and the Heat are like not very good.
I guess, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miami won.
I mean, it's one game, right? So
yeah, and they're usually very good in this play-in tournament. They're like always in the play-in, and they always do well. So
okay, so
Hero, you know how I feel about Hero, dude. Come on.
Yeah, he's your hero.
Good luck. That's right. Yep.
Do you think, before we get into anything, I have their net ratings. I have the Hornets and Heat net ratings for you, but what's your feeling about if the Sixers lost to the Magic and are playing one of these two teams? What's your confidence level at? Do you even care at that point? Do you?
I'd say. Go ahead.
The last thing I was going to ask you is back to the question I was holding is, would you rather lose to the Magic and then beat one of these teams and play the Pistons in round 1?
I don't think that. I mean, ideally, yes, but like I just don't think that they can't. They're not good enough to play the game of maybe they're just not.
I'm not asking if you think that's what you want them to do. I'm asking you, would you feel better about their chances against?
I would feel better about their chances against Detroit than I do against Boston. Yes.
Okay, like significantly better. Like you would actually give them a chance to win the series?
I mean, no. I would give them. Okay. So if I gave them a 1% chance to beat the Celtics, I'd probably give them 1%. I'd probably give them like a 6% chance to beat the Pistons.
Okay. So no. So essentially, giving them no chance in either series.
Correct.
Okay. 1%.
I mean that's fair, right? What kind of percentage chance would you give them?
I don't know, 10, 15, 1%.
15? What are you, nuts?
Yeah. You play this out 100 times, like just based on injuries 10% of the time. The Sixers would win 10% of the time. Anyway, 1%. Look, I'm with you that I would say that I'd be shocked if they won either series. So I agree. It's just the 1% made me laugh. Okay, so who would you rather play, Heat or the Hornets?
Probably the Hornets.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this like the new kid on the block type thing for you? And the Heat have been there, Spoelstra, that type of thing?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Hornets are young.
So
and
the Heat, the Hornets are young.
Yeah, they're young. They're fun and they're talented, but you watch them. They still make their young mistakes and they still get a little showboaty, right?
They do. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean they're obviously good for them. They've had a great second half and bright future, seemingly. But for one game, yeah, I would take the inexperienced team over the experienced team. Again, not going to matter that much either way. But if I'm picking one, then I'm going with the young guys.
And you don't care enough to actively root for the Hornets, right? You're just gonna. Are you gonna watch? Are you gonna watch that game?
Probably not. Probably be watching Probably watching the Phillies or the Flyers.
Okay. Let me get you some of the net rating stats between the Heat for the Heat and the Hornets, just so you know in this potential matchup, or for
Okay.
all Sixers fans know. Overall net rating: Heat 13th, the Hornets 8th. Offensive net rating: Heat 13th, Hornets 5th. Defensive net rating: Heat 13th, so they're 13th in offense and
Wow.
defense. Hornets 12th.
Wow.
The
Pretty
Hornets
good.
are a much more scary team. Now you might be someone who doesn't care about net ratings, like, oh, that's the regular season, I don't care anymore, which I think a lot of people do feel that way. But based on the last bunch of years, like playoff results, the teams with like the top 10 offense, top 10 defense go further. The teams with the top 5 in both go further. Like typically, the elite teams make deep runs with very few exceptions. But the Heat have been one of those exceptions a few years ago. So,
Yep.
I think I don't think the Heat are very good. I think the Sixers would be much better off playing the Heat, but I think it's in one game, like a one-game elimination thing, and it would be home. I mean, we're talking like 52% to 48%. Like we're
Right.
53 to 47. Like there's not a huge discrepancy in terms of like win probability for one game against either of the teams. But are you going to go into that game being like, after losing to the Magic, be like, I don't even care anymore, just end it? Like
No, no, no. I'll still root for them to make the playoffs. I think it's cool to watch them at least advance. Um, and listen, I'll still be rooting for them if they do make the playoffs, whether they play the Pistons or the Celtics. But it's going to be a miserable experience. And yeah, I never actively root for the team to lose.
don't you find if when your expectations are so low that it's not as miserable? Like it's like you can only be happy at that point. If your standards and expectation is so low, it's like, how could you get upset? I feel like it only could be good.
Don't get me. I think I feel that way. Yeah, my expectations are very low. So, but I still would like to see them win, and it still hurts when they get eliminated and they lose. You feel for the guys. But yeah, no. Let me be perfectly clear. My expectations they are in the basement. I mean, I have no expectations. I want to see them do well. And I think that they might be able to get out of the play-in, but I don't expect them to do anything past that. Nobody does. It's fine. It's okay. It's good.
So it's not going to be a miserable experience. It's
I
okay.
don't
It's
think
good.
so. No, it'll be. I mean, it'll be disappointing, but I think
You're setting this expectation that it's going to be miserable, so this way it really can't actually be miserable for you. It'll be fine.
it'll largely be fine. Like I am very experienced in 76ers playoff disappointment. So I've been here before. I know what to expect. It's all good.
Okay.
All right.
If they were to lose to the Magic or beat either the Heat or the Hornets, they play the Pistons. I know you gave them a 6% chance to beat the Pistons. Dude, I think they have a much better chance of beating the Celtics than the Pistons.
Of course you would say that. Come on.
I just have no
Of course you would
idea.
say that.
They have no one to stop Cade. They have no one to stop Cade.
They have no one to stop Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown.
I think they
There's two of them. There's two of them on Boston.
I think Edgecombe is a much better matchup against Jaylen Brown than he is for Cade Cunningham. Yeah.
Yeah, but he would be on neither of those guys.
You don't
He's not
think
a
he'd
wing. He's a guard. No, he wouldn't be on.
Who would go? He wouldn't be the primary defender on Jaylen Brown, and they would send help. Who would be on Jaylen Brown?
Oh, it would probably be Paul George or Kelly Oubre, without a doubt.
Wouldn't Paul George be on Tatum?
Maybe.
I feel like that's not a terrible matchup for Paul George. Like if you're going to
Yeah.
put someone on Tatum,
So then it would be Oubre. It's not going to be Edgecombe.
see, I think maybe I don't know. It. I think it makes much more sense to have Edgecombe on Jaylen Brown and send help than to have Oubre can't guard Jaylen Brown. Obviously,
Nobody can. He's amazing. Nobody can guard that guy. Nobody can guard Cade either. But, I think that their best bet is still going to be one of their long wings. It's going to be Oubre or George.
so Edgecombe wouldn't be on Cade,
No.
but isn't he much like more physical, much stronger than Oubre? Even though Oubre is taller with like longer arms.
I don't think so. Maybe he will be one day, but yeah, he's not like this pillar of strength, Edgecombe. He's
No, I know.
He's just a
Cade
freak
is
athlete.
though. Well, Cade is though. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Cade destroys like that lanky type of guard, like the Oubre type of profile.
Well, then it would have to be Paul George then.
I don't think Paul George has the quickness. Anyway, okay. So the main thing is I agree with you. I don't think either of them. I don't Pistons or Celtics. It's not going to matter. They're going to lose either way.
Yes.
All right.
And around we go, dude. And the world will continue, and everything will be great.
Do you want to know the Pistons net ratings? Or
Sure.
do you not want to know?
Yeah, hit me.
Third overall, offensive net rating 10th, defensive net rating 2nd.
Okay. 10th, not that high, dude. Come on.
So what's the prediction? How far will the Sixers go? How will their season end?
I think that, I think it will end in game 5 of round 1. Probably to Boston. I will pick them to beat the Magic.
You ready for my prediction?
Yes.
You know my prediction. You already said it, right? You already predicted my prediction.
Say it again.
I didn't say it once. You predicted it.
Okay. Well,
You want me to? All right. I was going to give you a chance to predict my prediction, but I'll just say my prediction instead.
yeah.
They will lose to the Magic in the 7-8 matchup. They will then lose to the Hornets, who will beat the Heat. And the Philadelphia 76ers will find themselves eliminated from the play-in tournament and will not make the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Wow, you hate Philadelphia, man. Wow.
There is no,
You like the Eagles and the Phillies, but you hate the 76ers, man. Wow.
That's what it is. It's an emotion. It's emotional attachment. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both teams are better than them. I think the Magic are better.
Wow.
I think the Magic are significantly better, actually. And I think the Hornets are slightly better.
This actually gives me a little confidence because, I mean, no offense, but I think you suck at picking basketball.
Okay.
I think you're great at picking other sports, but basketball.
You're right. I should learn from you saying that the how the Thunder suck and aren't good. You were saying that all year last year.
Good one.
Yeah. Or when you didn't believe that you thought Giannis sucked. He's just some physical guy that doesn't know how to play basketball, and Middleton sucks, and the Bucks have no. And then you were like, oh, they're all really good, and they won a championship. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I should be like you.
You should.
I actually have one more pick for you. That's not prediction, but that's not necessarily for about the Sixers because I already gave that pick, but it's relevant to the conversation.
Okay. What's it going to
be? Do you have any idea where I'm going with this without saying?
No. I mean, I guess it's got to be some sort of coach or general manager gets fired or trade, off-season move. No?
Relevant to the conversation, but not about the 76ers.
No, then I have no idea.
The Magic are going to beat the Sixers, and then they're going to upset the Boston Celtics in round one.
Oh, my God.
That's my pick.
You don't really think that.
I don't. I think there's a good chance, and based on the odds, if the Magic are in that series, I'm going to bet them. Yeah.
No, you're not. Just because
Yes, I
you
am.
like the odds. Yeah. Do you
Because I think
remember?
I think
Do you
I think it's
remember?
close. I think the Magic
Do
are
you
really good.
remember? Do you remember 26 hours ago when all of the starters and first three guys on the Celtics sat and the main lobsters beat the Magic? Do you remember that?
The Maine Lobsters.
Yeah,
I don't get
I
the
think that's
reference.
like their G League team is like the main something up in Maine.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, look at you. I thought you were an NBA
Ah, dude,
casual.
yeah, I'm just a hoop.
Wow.
You know me, dude. I'm just a hoop head, man.
Oh no,
Look
that
at me
makes
go.
sense. You follow the G League closely during your draft prep.
Oh my God, dude. Nobody watches more G League than me, dude. You kidding me?
Probably not. All right, so that's the pass for the Sixers. Good luck, dude. I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely hope I'm wrong because the longer the Sixers are in the playoffs, the better for this podcast we could talk about it, and the better for you,
Yes.
but not as much because you've had enough success and you don't deserve any more with your bashing of New York. Which, by the way, let's bash New York.
Thank you.
You want to let's mock New York fans on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah, we could do a couple of things real quick. So Jazz Chisholm made some headlines this weekend. Can you can
Yes.
you can you tell us what happened? Because I obviously didn't watch the game, so I don't know what
So
happened.
yeah, extra innings, games tied, bases loaded.
One
Believe
out.
no one out. There may have
No
been
one
one
out.
out. Oh no, there was one out. One out. One out. Ground ball to second base. Jazz charges. There's only one play. Remember, bottom 10th inning in Tampa. The run scores, wins the game. There's only one obvious play. You try to go to second, or you tag the runner on the way, and you throw to first for the double play, and it ends the inning. Yandy Diaz was the base runner on
True.
first.
Or you can go home, right?
No, but
Right.
given the scenario, there was no play at home.
Okay.
Given the scenario, there was clearly no play at home because the
Okay.
runner was going on contact, bases loaded, ground ball. Then no chance, no play at home. But yeah, you're right. In theory, there's another play. In this scenario, the only play really was to try to tag Yandy who was the base runner on first, tag him and then throw to first and get the whole play. What does Yandy do? He smartly freezes because you don't run towards the second baseman. Let him tag you and throw to first and double play. You freeze because what happens is. Well, he could throw. It gives the Jazz the option. He can throw to first base, but then once the out's made at first base first, that base runner, there's no force.
Right.
So if the runner from third crosses home plate before that
Right.
Yandy Diaz gets tagged, the game's over. They score the run. It doesn't matter. Jazz probably was like unsure what to do in a hectic situation. He bobbled the ball. The chances are that there was no play. The game was over. The reality is that game was, from the moment it was hit, the chance of Jazz making a play for a double play and save the game was less than 1%.
Right.
The issue isn't even that he bobbled it, and then he bobbled and then threw to first for some reason, which is like doesn't make any sense at all. So that's one issue. But then the main issue that people have with Jazz is that after the game he was asked about the play. And if he threw and he said, "What's the rule? Like if we get the runner at first out first, like, and then we get the guy they get the guy going to second, like, does the run count? Does the run score? What's the rule?" And then Trent Grisham, his teammate, is like off camera, like telling him like the run would count. We would have lost. like the, so
There's
the
no
issue
way
is
he
that
was serious. No way he was serious with that comment.
I think he was serious. I think
I don't
he
think
didn't
so.
know the rule.
Okay.
I think he didn't know the rule. So anyway, Yankee fans are very upset about it because
Very
they
upset.
think that he didn't know. Yes. So
All right.
I'm assuming
So
you're getting
s-
some tweets based on that, right? That's what
Yes.
you're seeing.
Yes. I
Okay.
have two good ones for you. All right. So this one comes to us from I don't know what the hell this means. Goofy Brigade Enthusiast, and his handle is at Can't Kill Me 13, and his
Wow.
profile picture is a picture of Tony Soprano. So he says the following: George Steinbrenner is a fucking rotisserie in his grave right now. Fucking with your jewelry, boasting to the media how you do not know the rules of the game you play for a fucking living.
Oh,
Any other profession would be fired for this ignorance. Born loser. So, dude, so in that
Loser.
post-game interview, you forgot to mention that he was like putting his earrings on or something like that, and
Yeah,
people
yeah, I
were
didn't-
getting
I-
so mad. Oh my god,
people are so mad about that. Yeah.
people were so mad about that, dude. So a lot of comments about the jewelry. All right, next one.
By the way, that's obviously a nervous thing that he's doing. Like that, he was
think
obviously
so?
nervous about. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Yes.
But I thought that you would love that George Steinbrenner is a rotisserie because he's
That's
he's
good.
spinning in his grave.
Yeah, I mean,
Why is it always spinning in his grave? They all say the same thing.
I think it's a stupid reference, a stupid thing to say anyway. Why I don't. Whatever. Anyway, what's the next one? I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
At least this guy was creative. All right, this one comes to us from Alec Reeves, Twitter handle AReeves50. So this was Sunday after the Jazz thing. The Yankees posted just their lineup for the Sunday game, and they got a lot of, replies to that tweet. This guy says, "Send Jazz back to Miami, where the weather is warm enough for his bitch ass.
Oh, I have something about this.
Oh, and make sure his earrings look good. His OnlyFans girlfriend might be in the stands today."
Okay, so a couple
apparently
things here.
he's engaged to an OnlyFans model.
Yes, that's been a thing that people talk about. Yeah. There's a reference there in that tweet. Something else, and I don't know if it was the same interview or a different interview. I think he was asked, about his bad start, and he said it's been cold. He doesn't play well in the cold. Once it gets warm, he'll, So that's
Okay.
that's what that person's referencing.
That's great. That's so good.
Which
Dude, he really said that?
yeah.
As a member of the Yankees, doesn't he know that it gets cold in New York in October?
Well, that's the reason why his October performance has been bad. Maybe
Wow. This is the Bronx, man,
he's not having a good start to his free agency season.
Oh, it's so
yeah.
good. It's so good. It's so great. So that's it.
Yeah, I think the Jazz noise is getting louder and louder. It's going to just keep happening every time he makes a mistake, and he makes stupid mistakes. He wasn't joking, dude. He was not joking.
I think he was joking.
Why is that
No,
funny?
I think I think if he's trolling
Who do
the
you think?
person,
Who do you think found it funny? Jazz? Anyone else?
I think that
You think his teammates found it funny?
I don't know.
I don't
Fair
think
enough.
he's joking. I don't think anyone would have found that funny. I think he didn't know the rule. And then all these people are like hating on Boone for it. I think I said this to you on the phone earlier today. I'll say it again. What do people expect? They expect a manager of a Major League Baseball team to sit down with each player on the team and go through every single rule in the rule book. Like how are people blaming Aaron Boone for this? I don't understand.
Wait,
And,
well,
and
hold
then
on. You know who used to do that?
do what?
You know who used to sit them down and go through the rules of the rule book with them?
You?
No. Joe Torre.
Joe Girardi.
Yeah, Joe. That's right.
Joe
Yeah.
Torre used to have a rule book. What he would do is he would take each page and staple it different places in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there would be random pop quizzes. Like you never knew when they were gonna come.
Jazz should know that. And I don't think he was joking. Jazz should know that. That's a pretty important rule for a second
Of course.
baseman to know.
Of course he should know that. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm
Again-
pretty sure he did, but
I'm pretty sure what he wanted to do was tag the runner and throw to first, and he bobbled it, and it didn't matter.
right.
And it wasn't about him not knowing the rules, but him just, and then he just panicked with the game on the line and just threw it towards
Yes.
first.
Yes.
The game was over. The throw into first didn't matter. There's nothing he could have done at that point.
Right,
So it
right.
didn't matter.
Needed
It just
to-
makes it
needed-
look worse.
He needed to field the ball cleanly.
Yeah. And he still probably
Right.
is not making that play.
Right. Right.
All right, that's good. So we got the little mocking New York fans on Twitter
Mhm.
into our Sixers play-in preview.
Postseason preview.
And does that make you feel better?
Yeah, a little bit. It sounds better.
It's more accurate because if they make the playoffs, it's not just the play-in.
Yeah,
Yeah. There you go. Last year, they weren't even in the play-in.
you're right.
A huge step up.
We're moving on up. Yeah.
There you go. Any last thoughts on your Philadelphia 76ers? Any last thoughts on Philadelphia sports in general? What are you excited about these days? The Flyers?
I'm excited about the Flyers. Yeah. I'm totally jumped on the bandwagon. That's another a big topic of conversation in Philadelphia. A lot of the Flyers diehards are mad
Annoyed.
or jumping
Yeah.
on their
No,
bandwagon.
what's your thoughts on this? If it was a different team, if it was like the Eagles or Sixers, would you be annoyed by those fans who all of a sudden cared like now?
I think I think I might get annoyed or think it's lame, like if people have been acting like, as though they know what they're talking about, like as if they know the team. Like, I don't know really anything about this team. I haven't watched the Flyers consistently in a really long time. But it's only because, like, man, there's only so much time that you have as a functional adult in society to watch sports. So, like, you have to pick and choose which sports you watch. And I love the Flyers. I loved them as a kid. I loved them as a young adult and a teenager. And, like, yeah, I haven't watched them lately.
I know what it is. It's.
And
Can I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can I interrupt you for a second? 'Cause
sure.
I just something's very obvious to me. What's obviously we know the Eagles and Sixers are your top two, but the
Yeah.
reason is the Flyers have been so bad for so long that it's made you lose, like put them like fourth, put them like behind, like just like the thing you're not gonna. If you have to decide this is the sport I'm watching, this is what I'm focusing. I'm not gonna focus on them. They've been bad for so long. Like you just kind of
course.
lose
Yeah.
interest. Okay.
Of course, and it's also it's the one sport that I never played like organized. So
That makes sense.
yeah, I just don't have. But look, I when the process was going on and the Sixers were winning 12 games for 3 years there, like I watched Flyers like every night, or like I watched all the Flyers games instead of watching the Sixers games. It was like, yeah, why would I want to watch these people, like they're actively trying to lose? What am I going to sit there and watch that for?
No, I get it.
So I'm just totally jumping on the bandwagon. They're fun to watch. I've watched some Flyers hockey over the years, but it's just never been a fun watch. It's always kind of been like a grind. And yeah, the team is fun and they're playing with energy, and I would just like love for them and like to and don't say the score right now because they're playing right now.
I already looked.
I would just love to watch the Flyers in the playoffs again.
The
That would
score
be so much
is
fun. Yeah.
I do have one more thing, and then I want to preview some stuff for the podcast or talk
Sure.
about some stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Don't you feel like you don't have that emotional attachment to the team, to like this specific season, because you weren't in on it all season? Like, doesn't it feel like you're less engaged emotionally?
Yes, it does. But like the good thing, so hopefully, what will most likely happen, hopefully this happens, is, let's say they win a round, right? And they make it to the conference semis. And then they have a good season next year. Hopefully this is like the start of them being somewhat good
Yeah.
over the course of the
Okay.
next few years. And, then you can kind of, you can get a sense of what's going on, And there's still
Thank
some
you.
guys, there's still some guys that are on this team that, like, when I watched a lot of hockey, there's, a couple, not a lot of them, but Couturier is still there. He was awesome back when I used to watch a few years back. Konechny is still there, playing really well. So I have an emotional attachment to those guys. And then, yeah, the young guys are awesome, and they're fun to watch. So,
Okay. Well, good luck to the Flyers. Real quick, some stuff for the podcast. So we obviously just previewed the Sixers postseason. We'll be posting an episode previewing the Knicks versus Hawks first round series. That'll be up. we may have in the next couple of weeks, we will have a Let's Mourn the New York Rangers season recap coming up. And ultimately, we'll probably have one for the Sixers relatively soon, and maybe one for the Flyers if we get to that one. That I'm not so sure if we'll do, since clearly you don't know much about the teams.
I thought you
So
were
there's that.
going to say, because clearly they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, well, it's possible. In hockey,
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Please give us a like. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Silly pride insists that's all. Andrew Rappin and Wild Bulls. Together they talk sports and dreams. Right behind the scenes. It seems. Silvers and white. Who the call? Who's the greatest? Who will fall with this rivalry? Loud and clear. Join the chat. It's time to cheer. Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew, sis, that Brad unite. Philly and Y in the spotlight.